The healthcare professionals are saying to us that COVID-19 will be with us for a while. So we will have to decide as a country how we live with this COVID-19 virus and what actions we need to take to prevent spikes in COVID-19 infections, and what actions will we take to live our lives, but at the same time ensure that we protect the society.
The first installment of Confinement Sundays has been met with mixed reviews from members of the public who spoke to our news desk. Now, the opposition United Workers' Party is questioning the legality of the new protocol adjustments in the absence of a state of emergency. Ex-Prime Minister Alain Chastanet, in a Facebook post, claims, quote, "We call on the Prime Minister to immediately reinstate the state of emergency, as the current protocols restricting people's movement and freedom of assembly are illegal and ultravise the Constitution. A failure to do will force the United Workers' Party to take action in the interest of safeguarding our democracy and preserving law and order in St. Lucia." Unquote. Minister for Health Moses Moussa Jean-Baptiste says the measures outlined by the government are aimed at hitting moving targets.
When we think about activities, we think about going to church, we think about going to school, we think about going to the restaurant, going to the beach. All of these activities will have to be taken on board. But the government has a responsibility to ensure that the society as a whole is protected. So yes, you will find in the protocols from time to time what people may determine relaxation. Some people may determine that because it's church, people need to go to church, others want to go to the beach. But we will have to decide as a society how we deal with this.
It should be noted that the current SLP administration's legal footing is based on legislation pushed through the upper and lower house by the UWP administration in 2020. The COVID-19 Prevention and Control Bill controversially passed the upper house, with questions raised about whether there was a quorum to facilitate the sitting. Despite the UWP's present-day protestations, Jean-Baptiste says the government remains focused on the management of the fourth wave of the pandemic.
And up to now, we are still very concerned about the numbers. The numbers are going down, but I am still very worried about the numbers.
The downward trend in positive cases does nothing to soothe the health minister's trepidations. He is concerned about the management of patients.
Over the medium to long term, we have to determine how we continue to live with it. So yes, we are going up to the beginning of November with the current protocols, but we will have to determine how we deal with it long term.
Some critics continue to rail against the SLP administration's public health rather than law enforcement-centric approach to pandemic management. The opposition, United Workers' Party, has accused the SLP government of putting politics ahead of people, alleging the incumbent is refusing to follow the Constitution, the supreme law of the land. However, proponents of the administration counter that the opposition's interpretation of the law is deeply flawed. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.